welcome to my first live stream yoga class. Thank you for joining me. As always, please listen to your body. You know your body best. If this is your first time trying yoga, please make sure that you take frequent breaks and catch up with us as you need. We're going to come into a comfortable sitting position. Close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths into your belly. Feeling your belly expand as you inhale. Feel it sink back towards your spine as you exhale. Tuning out the outside world. Focusing your attention on your breath and on your practice. This is your class. This is your time. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Sweeping the hands up. Exhale, taking the right hand down to the ground, reaching over with the left arm. Deep breaths here, keeping the shoulder out of the ear. You can look up towards the ceiling or down towards the ground, whatever feels right for your body. And on your next exhale, over to the other side. Deep breaths. And inhale, coming up. Bringing both palms to face each other, shoulders out of the ears. Palms to touch, down in front of the heart as you exhale. Coming into seated cat-cow, you're going to bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, press the chest forward, looking towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, curl the spine back as if somebody had a hold of your belly. Inhale, looking towards the ceiling. And exhale, tucking the chin, curling the spine. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Start to make circles with the body all the way around, pressing down through the sit bones. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And reverse direction. Coming back to the center slowly. Sitting nice and tall. Deep breaths here. Inhale, float the hands up. And exhale, take that right hand down to the ground again. Reaching over with the left arm. And over to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, we're going to come into a twist. So you're going to take that right hand, twist through your waist as you exhale and bring it to your left knee. Take your left hand down behind your back as close to your spine as you can get. Bringing all of the air from the lungs, looking over the shoulder. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And when you're ready, inhale, lifting that left arm up. We're going to reach over at an angle so the palm faces down. Inhale up to center, palms facing, shoulders out of the ears. Exhale, we're going to twist over to the other side. Take that left hand down to the right knee. Take the right hand behind the back, looking over the shoulder. Deep breaths, bringing all of the air from the lungs. Keeping the hand on the knee, reaching up and over at an angle. Inhale, come back to center, palms facing. Down in front of the heart as you exhale. Taking a breath here. Coming onto your hands and knees. Make sure your hands are about shoulder distance apart and your knees are about hip distance apart. You want to spread your fingers nice and wide here. Nice long spine so you're reaching from the crown of the head, and I will turn so that you can see. So you want to make sure that your spine is nice and long and hands are under the shoulders, pressing down into your fingertips. Pull the belly in and up. Extend that left arm out and that right leg out. Balancing here. Flex the foot, engage the core, engage the leg. And then we're going to reach around and see if we can find the foot. Deep breath. Extend the arm and leg out. Flex the foot. Release the hand, release the knee. Over to the other side. Pulling the core tight. Reach through the fingertips. Flex the foot. And then when you're ready, see if you can find the foot. Pressing into the hand here. Keeping your balance. Keep your focus on your mat. And then extend the arm and leg out. Release the hand, release the knee. Open the knees out nice and wide here and press back into child's pose. Reaching through the fingertips, allowing the forehead to rest on your mat. Big toes are touching. Deep breaths in here and out. Walking your hands over to your left, you're going to take that left hand over and then take that right hand a little bit further out. Pressing down through the sit bones, down through the hands here. Deep breaths. And over to the other side when you're ready. Taking your time to come back into tabletop. From here, we're going to extend that left leg straight back, pressing out through the heel, kind of pressing your weight into the heel here. Getting a nice stretch through the calf. Then we're going to take that left leg, we're going to lift it, and we're going to step it over to the right. So I'm going to turn so that you can see. So the left leg is up here, and we're going to step it over to the right and kind of press out through the heel here. Crunching that shoulder slightly towards the hip. And then come back to center. Over to the other side. We're going to start by pressing out through that right heel. Deep breaths. Really pressing that weight into that heel. And then lifting the heel up and stepping it over. Kind of crunching that shoulder towards the hip. Lifting the foot and coming back to the center. Take your left arm out to the side. Exhale, twist through the waist and come all the way down onto your shoulder, resting your head on the ground. Reach that right arm up, and you can wrap it around to find your left thigh. Deep breaths here. Be mindful, there's not really much weight in the head, it's kind of in the shoulder. Unwind, lifting yourself up and over to the other side. Exhale, twist as you come down. Reaching that left arm up, wrapping it around to find the thigh. Unwind, lifting yourself up. Keeping your hips lifted, we're going to walk the hands towards the top of the mat, coming into Happy Puppy. The chin can come down or the forehead can come down, whatever you're more comfortable with. Keep reaching through the fingertips here. Pressing the armpits down towards the ground. And then begin to press the hips back toward the heels, coming into child's pose. Inhale, rolling yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae so that you're sitting on your heels. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Guide that right hand down the middle of the back. And then over to the other side. Gently release. We're going to lift high up onto our knees here. Make sure your knees are about hip distance apart. You may need to have an extra mat or a towel under your knees for the extra cushion there. Bring your hands to the small of the back and gently begin to press the hips forward. I'm going to show you from the side here. So you want to press the hips forward, keeping the chest and chin facing the ceiling, only going as far as your body allows. Deep breaths. If you feel comfortable here and you want to take it further, you can bring the hands down to the heels. Keep pressing the hips forward, keeping the neck in line with the spine. We don't want to drop the head back. And then gently lifting yourself back up. And we're going to counter that with a child's pose. So you're going to come down, bringing the arms alongside the body, palms face up. Deep breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to come up into tabletop. Pressing down through the palms. Curl your toes and lift your hips. Keep your knees bent here. And really pressing the belly in, lifting the hips nice and high. Slowly begin to lower the heels towards the floor. Lift high up onto the tippy toes and come back down onto your knees into tabletop. Again, we're going to lift, keeping the knees bent, press the belly towards the thighs, lift the hips. Slowly lower the heels, and then come back down. One more time, just like that. Curl the toes, lift the hips, belly towards the thighs, and lowering the heels. And we're going to pedal the feet, walking the dog, bending one knee and then the other, taking your time. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Lift high up onto the tippy toes, come down onto the knees. We're going to add on from here. So you're going to extend that right leg straight back, flexing the foot, engaging the core. We're going to lower down slowly, bringing the chin down towards the mat or the forehead to the mat. Keep the arms hugged in, the elbows pressed back. Inhale, lift, and bring the knee down. Over to the other side, extend the leg out, pull the belly in. Slowly, with control, lowering yourself towards the mat. Inhale, lift, and lower down. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. High up onto the tippy toes, back down onto the knees. Extend that right leg out, bringing the forehead or chin down to the mat. From here, we're going to add on. We're going to slowly come forward, keep that leg lifted, and lift into cobra. So the hips are down, the elbows are back. Deep breaths. And press into child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Extend that leg back. Bring your chest down. Sliding forward. Coming into cobra. Press the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Downward facing dog. Now, you can either do what we just did on your knees, or you can try lifting from here going into that. So we're going to lift that right leg high, shifting out into our plank position, lowering down, and lifting into cobra. Child's pose. Over to the other side. Lifting the hips high. Left heel high. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. Child's pose. Deep breaths. Take a few minutes here. A few breaths here, I should say. Let your breath slow, let your heart rate slow. Notice how your body is feeling. And when you're ready, we're going to get back into it. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Lift into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to flip the dog. So you're going to lift your right heel high. You're going to bend the knee. We're going to start to pivot that left foot. And we're going to drop that right foot down, opening the chest towards the ceiling. We're going to bring the hand back down. Take your time to pivot. And we're going to lift that right heel high. Pull the knee in towards your nose. Step it underneath of your body over to the left. Fallen triangle, plank variation. Deep breaths. And we're going to come back down. Lift that heel high. And release. Coming down into child's pose. We're going to do the other side. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we're going to lift up into tabletop, downward facing dog. Lifting that left heel high. Shoulders out of the ears, belly pulled tight. Begin to pivot that right foot. Drop that left foot. Open up. And then bring the hand down. Lift the heel high. Pull the knee in towards the nose. Underneath of the body, fallen triangle. We're going to bring the hand down. Take your time. Lift that heel high. Release. Come down to your knees. Press into child's pose. Deep breaths here. Everyone still with me? From here, just take a couple deep breaths. Let your heart rate slow down a little bit. Noticing your heart rate, noticing your breath. When you're ready, we're going to come back into that tabletop position. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Walking your hands and feet towards each other. Bending your knees, hanging heavy here. Letting your head and shoulders hang. Let your knees bend as much as you need. The weight of the world is falling from your shoulders. Inhale, rolling yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Until you're standing nice and tall. Palms out, shoulders back and down. Deep breaths here. Inhale, sweep the hands up, palms to touch. Down in front of your heart as you exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. One last time. Inhale. And exhale. Pressing down into your left foot, find something to focus on that's not moving. We're going to do a little balancing here. If you need, use a chair or the wall. Or if you're at home, maybe you have a partner, you can use them too. We're going to press down into that left foot, pull the belly in and up, and you're going to bring that right knee in and up. Flex the foot and gauge. Deep breath. And from here, we're going to bring that knee out to the side, and you're going to take that left hand to the left hip. I like to call this one Captain Morgan. And we're going to come back to the center. We're going to release down. Shake it up. And over to the other side. Take your time. Inhale. And exhale. Press down into that right foot, and you're going to bring the left knee in and up. Flex the foot, engage the core. Deep breath. And when you're ready, we're going to bring that knee out to the side. Keep that foot flexed. center, and release. Shaking it out. So I feel like that was a little too easy for everybody. We're going to ramp it up a little bit. We're going to sweep the hands up and exhale. This is power yoga, people. Come on. We're going to bring the hands in front of the heart. Press down into your left foot and bring that right knee in and up. From here, we're going to come into warrior three. Interlace the fingers so the pointers are touching. Bring the hands up, shoulders back and down. Slowly shift that weight back. We're going to balance here, keeping the foot lifted. Try to keep the hips square as much as possible. And keep a soft bend in your knee if you need. We never want to lock the knee. We always want to make sure that we're protecting it. Deep breaths. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands down. Lift that leg high. Listen to your body. And release the foot down. Roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, sweeping the hands up. Down in front of the heart as you exhale. Interlace the fingers, pointers touching. Press down into that right foot. Bringing the left knee in and up. Flex the foot, engage the core. Hands up, shoulders out of the ears. And when you're ready, shifting that weight. Deep breaths. And forward fold, lifting that leg. Release the foot. And roll yourself up. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Palms to touch, down in front of the heart. From here, we're going to step that right foot forward and step your left foot to the back of the mat at an angle. So you want to make sure that your heel is lined up with your heel or the arch of the back foot. You want your hips facing forward as much as possible. Hips, knees, toes all going in the same direction to protect your knee. That front knee is over your ankle behind your toes. Inhale, sweep the hands up, warrior one. Shoulders out of the ears. Deep breaths. And exhale, straighten the leg, forward fold. Bend that knee. Pivot that back foot. Press out through that back heel. Press the left hand into the ground. Take the right hand to the right thigh. Twist through the waist and reach that right arm up. Exhale, forward fold. Take the hand to the inside of the foot. And we're going to step that right foot back. Plank position. Take your time here. You can release your knees if you'd like, or you can stay up in that plank position. We're going to lower down for chaturanga. So chaturanga, you want to make sure that you're pressing out through the heels and the head is coming out over your mat slightly. You're going to slowly lower yourself down with the arms hugged into the body. The elbows are pointing back. Your arms are pressing against the rib cage. And you're kind of hovering here. We don't want the booty too high or too low. And we're going to lift upward facing dog. Thighs are off of the mat. Hips are pressed forward. Neck is in line with the spine and the shoulders are out of the ears. Lift into downward facing dog. Hop or step your feet up in between your hands and roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, palms to touch. Down in front of your heart as you exhale. Deep breaths here. Take time to adjust. And when we're ready, we're going to do the other side. So you want to make sure that that left foot is stepping forward and that right foot is the back of the mat. Take your time to get yourself set up, protecting your knees. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Shoulders out of the ears. Deep breaths. Exhale, forward fold as you straighten that front leg out. Be mindful not to lock the knee. Bend that front knee, pivot that back foot, pressing out through the back heel. Press down into your right hand. Bring your left hand to your thigh. Twist through your waist and reach that arm up. Try to keep the shoulders stacked over each other. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step that front foot back, plank position. And again, you can release your knees, and you can do from your knees, so I'll show you what that looks like. You're going to be on your knees, hips come forward slightly, shoulders roll out of the ears, and the elbows point back towards the wall. As your arms hug into your body, you're going to lower yourself down, and then you're going to lift up into your cobra or your upward facing dog. If you want to try the harder variation here, you're going to have the hips up, plank position, slowly lower down, try to keep everything in line here, and then lift into your upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Hop or step your feet up in between your hands and roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Sweeping the hands up, down in front of the heart as you exhale. Deep breaths. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, chair pose. So you want to make sure your feet are either hip distance apart, or you can have the big toes touching with a slight separation in your ankles. Shoulders out of the ears, hips back, belly pulled tight. Deep breaths. Keep pressing into your heels. So you should be able to lift your toes up off of the ground. Breathe. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Sweeping the hands up and pressing into chair pose one more time. Deep breaths. From here, we're going to add on. We're going to lift up onto the tippy toes. Work the booty. Deep breaths. And exhale, lower the heels, forward fold. Bend the left knee towards the nose, keeping the right leg straight. And then switch. Bend both knees and roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Sweeping the hands up, palms to touch, down in front of the heart. From here, we're going to find our way back down, but it's not going to be that easy. We're going to step our feet out a little bit further than hip width apart. You want to make sure that your heels are pointing in, toes are pointing out, hips, knees, toes. Come down into a low squat. So you may have to step your feet out further or closer depending on your body. We're going to come down to our low squat. Press the elbows into the knees here and try to sit as tall as you can. Nice long spine. From here, we're going to take that right hand down to the ground. We're going to twist and we're going to reach that left arm up. Come back down, bringing the hands in front of the heart. And when you're ready, over to the other side, taking that left hand down, twist through the waist, reaching that right arm up. And come back down, palms to touch. Bring your hands down. We're going to take our time to step or hop those feet back, plank position. Release the knees, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, downward facing dog. Lift the right heel high. Pull the knee up towards the nose, and you're going to lay it out in front of you into an L shape, into pigeon. We're going to take the leg and we're going to bring it out to the side. We want to try to push the hip towards the ground here. That back leg is nice and straight. Be mindful of your body here. You may want to prop a blanket up underneath of your sit bone on this side, or even under the knee if you're putting a lot of pressure on there, you might have to adjust. We're going to walk it forward. This is a really nice hip opener, and there's different variations of this as well. You can make it a little more intense by taking the left arm out to the side, scooping it under the right arm, and then taking the right arm and making a pillow. Try to keep those hips square. Inhale, lift. Curl those back toes, press out through that back heel. Lift into downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And then over to the other side. Pull the knee in towards the nose, lay it out in front of you into that pigeon. L shape. Deep breaths. When you're ready, walk it forward. It's one of my favorite stretches. And then if you want to make it a little more interesting, you can take that right arm out to the side, scoop it under, and rest on that left arm. When you're ready, we're going to lift up. But instead of going into downward facing dog, we're just going to swing that leg around and come right into easy pose. Deep breaths. Taking this time to notice how your body is feeling. Notice your breath. If you have a blanket, a pillow, or a book, or a block, we're going to use the block for a little extra something. We're going to come down onto our back. And we're going to slide that block right up underneath of the hips. Make sure that your shoulders are pressed down into the ground. Your chin is pointing towards the ceiling. And deep breaths here. This helps release tension in the lower back. It's really yummy. I highly suggest it. We're going to start to slow the breath down. Inhale for the count of 3. And exhale for the count of 3. And then inhale for the count of 5. And exhale for the count of 5. Letting that block or your blanket, pillow, really letting it absorb the weight. Press down into the soles of the feet. Make sure you're pressing down into the shoulders. Lift the hips and remove the block. Bring the knees into the chest. Press down through the shoulders, down through the lower back. Keep that right knee in, and we're going to extend that left leg out and down, nice and long. You're going to take your right knee, keep your shoulders down so the chest stays facing the ceiling. Take your knee and stack your right hip on top of your left hip as that knee comes down towards the ground. You can look over the shoulder if you'd like, or you can stay facing the ceiling, whatever feels right for you. You can make this a little extra by grabbing a hold of the foot and extending the leg out. Just remember to keep the shoulder down. If you feel that shoulder start to lift, come out of the pose. Come back onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Over to the other side when you're ready. Stacking your hips, tacking your shoulders down, and coming into your twist. Come back onto your back. Bring the soles of the feet to touch, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And bring your hands on your belly. Taking slow, deep breaths here. Begin to extend the legs out, letting letting the feet fold apart. Let your arms fall alongside your body, palms face up. Closing your eyes, taking slow, deep breaths. Feeling yourself sink deeper into your mat with every breath. Your jaw becomes soft. The expression falls from your face. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. There's no one to be. In this moment, it's just you and your breath. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. You can push pause and catch back up with us whenever you're ready. From here, we're going to begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Rotate our wrists and our ankles. Reaching and stretching as if you're just waking up. Exhale the knees into the chest. Bring the feet down into the mat. Take the arms overhead. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Take the arms over to the left and drop the knees to the right. Switching sides, take a hold of the wrist. Bring the knees over. Come back onto your back, hug both knees into your chest. Roll yourself to one side. And press yourself up into your sitting position. Keeping your eyes closed or a soft gaze on the floor. Taking this time to notice how you were feeling at the beginning of the class. How you felt during class. And how you're feeling now. Inhale, sweeping the hands up, palms to touch. Down in front of the heart as you exhale. Sending well wishes to your loved ones. And receiving all of the love that the universe has to offer. I'm going to close class with a round of Om. Om. to you. Peace to your loved ones. Peace to the whole world family. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. If you enjoy our videos, please share and like. Thank you.